Good afternoon, Professor Rahman, Professor Garg, Vice Chancellor, Delhi Technological University, Professor Dr. Trivedi, Dr. Rizwan, other respected deans, teachers, participants, and my dear students. First of all, on behalf of DTU, I welcome all of you. Second is this topic is very important. Challenges and opportunities in renewable energy, role of smart grids. Topic is important, relevant, and everyone is talking about it. Everyone feels that I am connected to this topic. And when we say the renewable energy, it has become more important because now we all know that nature took thousands of years to make coal, petroleum, and other such products. Thousands of years. And we have finished, or we are in the process of finishing those things within a span of 200-250 years. And now experts are saying we have only reserved for another 50 years. This is a very, very challenging situation. How to deal with this? That's why when I say topic is important not only for the policy makers but also for the scientists, and this is equally important for coming generations. I would like to ask you a question. Someone asked me this question. What is the cost of electricity in Delhi? What is the cost of electricity in Delhi? 4 rupees to 9 rupees per unit? Yes. This is the cost of electricity. What is the cost of electricity in Uttar Pradesh? Haryana? Same, 6, 7, something. Now my question is it the cost of electricity? Is it the cost of electricity? Is it the production cost of it? Is it even the production cost of electricity? No, not at all. It is only the cost of services which are being used in the generation and transportation of electricity. That's all. And some profits. Can you cost the coal or the petroleum which is used? If I say what is the cost of an apple, you may say 50 rupees kg. No, this is not the cost of apple. Nature has given so many things free of cost. If we start calculating the cost, we cannot calculate the cost. So that's why Professor has rightly said rich people and famous people. But now coming generation or this new generation, including ourselves also, we want to be rich and famous both. We want to be rich and famous both. And but here rider is what? When I say I am purchasing this electricity and I have all the rights to use it, I have all the rights to misuse it because I have purchased it. No, you have not purchased it. We cannot purchase electricity. It is just a facility and cost of services and the economic model which has been designed and worked out for this. And we are saying 6 rupees, 9 rupees or whatever it is. If we say 12 rupees also, that is also fine. But this is not the cost of. Even if this is true for everything, coal or iron or even water. What is the cost of water? So always keep in mind that whenever we are doing costing, we are only including the services and the profits, nothing else. This is an economy model which has been taught to us and by the Western world and in the Eastern world or the rest of the world or in the global world, everyone is following it without understanding the consequences of this. That's why this topic is very important. From engineering side, there is one viewpoint. But from the economy side, there is another viewpoint, and from the policy side, there is another viewpoint. Policy makers should realize, must realize, that if we have to survive, we have to change our costing patterns and costing models. In somewhere in 2004, I visited United States of America. And I was in California and I saw the wooden, wooden electricity poles. You must have seen those wooden electricity poles. One professor was with me. I asked that professor, he was a white professor, US professor. I asked him, why are you using this wooden pole? Even in India, we don't use these wooden poles. This is the criminal wastage of resources. He said, but we are not using our wood. We are importing this wood from Africa. So there is no need to worry. There is no need to worry. Why should we worry? We are importing it from Africa. But is this the way? And now those are making policies for us. Those people who have introduced the use and throw approach in this world. Now they are saying that if India and China will start using this, there should be some ban on this, some ban on that, some ban on that. There are, what we say, the usage pattern, it is disturbing the world. No, not at all. We have started using this air conditioning environment. This is the history of only last 10 years. Prior to that, only principal or vice chancellor used to have air conditioning environment in some laboratories, that's all. Some privileged laboratories. Because we were not used to that environment. We were not trained and tuned in that environment. But now, time has changed. Time has changed. Right or wrong, I don't know, but now we are used to this. We are used to this environment and we provide this environment. I am not justifying for some issues, but the point is, this use and throw approach is related to renewable energy also. What is happening worldwide? They say improve the quality of the product. Improve the quality of the product in best possible way, but reduce the lifespan of that product. I can give you thousands of such examples. They are saying improve, quality is excellent, but they are reducing the lifespan of their product. First example is our razors. Quality of these throwaway, what are they calling those razors? Gillette razors. Use 5-6 times and then throw it. Throw it 5-6 times and quality is excellent. If you start using that razor, you will not use any other razor. Because quality is very good. And we all are quality conscious. We all are quality conscious people. We use it. We used to have a repair facility, like for example in the industry of automobile industry. Repair is very important. But now they say no, repair is not, it is not good, replace. Repair is not good, replace the item. Replace the part of the automobile because lifespan is over. Say for a particular product lifespan is 5 years and you have to replace it after 5 years. And if you repair it, it means what? We people are doing jugaad. Jugaad is also an innovation, very, very important thing, maybe doing by the unorganized sector. And my dear youngsters who are here, you may be surprised to know the GDP contribution of unorganized sector in our country is more than 80%. The corporate world is only contributing 11% in the GDP. 15% is coming from agriculture. So we all are making policies for the corporate world whose contribution is only 11%. And this so-called small sector, medium sector, unorganized sector, Tela Wala, on road, they are contributing not. They are contributing about 70%, 75% in the GDP. These are the statistics. And we have to understand whenever we are talking about the technologies, they are very, very important. Coming to this GYAN, this is Global Initiative for Academic Networks, and I know some background also. In 2012, President of India showed his concern about the ranking system, Times ranking system. Our Pune University was placed in first 200. He was worried, shocked. He got the vice chancellors of most of the central universities, and he asked a question: can't we place in that list somewhere? Can you guarantee me that within 5 years or within 10 years, a University of India will also be placed in that list? Everyone was reluctant to say yes. Because we understand the difficulties of that ranking pattern. where knowledge creation and research is one side, important subject, no doubt. But other is what? International collaborations, presence of international students, cultural diversity, presence of international faculty, presence of faculty, Indian faculty exposed to the external world. So lots of weightages on such issues also. I am not justifying that we are, for others we are very good. No, I am not saying that. But the point is these are the concerns. When President called the concerned ministers also, how can we address this issue? Then Government of India decided to start few projects in order to have address such situations. And one of the initiatives is GYAN, where they say we should develop international linkages, international networks. The word is also very interesting, academic networks. Because this is very important. If the people like Professor Rizwan or the people of such eminent people, they will visit, come here, address our students, they will ignite, inspire many of us. Similarly, our teachers should also be exposed to the best practices of the world, best institutions of the world. We should also institute such scholarships, postdoctoral fellowships, PhD scholarships, fellowships. Government of India is working on this project also. Although they could not launch this project, why Chinese university has come in that ranking now? China was not there in up to 2000. But now, because they invested time, energy and money systematically in this project only, China negotiated with the best universities of the world, best research laboratories of the world. Their teachers were sent there, their students were admitted there on discounted price. Say that we will provide you 500 students. Okay? 100 students. Based on that, what we say, carpet bombarding. Now they are getting fruits of that. Some of the Chinese universities are placed in the list. It's a result of a hard work. There is no shortcut here. We have to work really very, very hard, and this is GYAN and NDPU also. Today this is a humble initiative in that direction, so that we will be able to develop some international linkages which are fruitful for us. Another issue is about the knowledge creation. Everyone is talking about the knowledge creation. Our country, and particularly the institution like Delhi College of Engineering, they have produced excellent teachers. I should say the world-class teachers. We have produced world-class teachers, no doubt, no debate on that. But when I am saying the teachers with reference to the knowledge sharing, transferring of existing knowledge to the students, making knowledge simple so that everyone can understand that. This is a very, very important task. But it may be a necessary task but not a sufficient task. We have to realize and differentiate between a college teacher and a university teacher, where they are expected to work hard in their area, in their domain in order to create knowledge. We cannot and continue to work on the knowledge provided by the West only. No, I can't create knowledge here. Our universities should take part in that, and this is a step in that direction also, where the presence of such professors who are the contributors in knowledge creations, they can also at their right inspire some of us so that we can work in this direction, and this will only come through innovation, this will only come through research. This knowledge creation, which is very, very important dimension. Another important is, as a society also, and my young students, we have to realize that as a society also, we are not able to comprehend and appreciate change. We are very reluctant to change. I am director of NSIT, and today also one accident happened. We wanted to introduce online courses for our students. It is happening worldwide. IITs are doing it, many good institutions are doing it. In DTU also we want to do it. But we wanted to do it NSIT, and now today DU decided not to approve this. There was lots of debate, but we do not want to come out of that domain. Conventional, traditional way of doing things. I can't. One side we are talking about the knowledge sharing, second side is we are very reluctant. So as a society, we have to change our attitude, and we should try to develop the ways and means and a pragmatic approach to address situations. This is another very important dimension to comprehend and appreciate change. Many companies have seen this. Recent example is Nokia. What has happened in Nokia? What was the fault of Nokia? They could not realize change which was happening, not only in the competitors but in the minds of the customer. When someone said to the CEO of Nokia, the internet will come on the mobile, he said, no, that will not of any use. People will not use it due to a small screen. And then they decided not to take that product. And within 1 year, Nokia was out from the market. Otherwise, Nokia was the world leader having share of 70% share. Nokia is not in the market. Now they have some tie-ups with Microsoft. We really do not know tomorrow what will happen to Microsoft also. We really do not know. They are also facing serious challenges. And in this technology area is very, very challenging, competitive. And when we say the economics, yes, one side lose money and other side no money also. So it's very, very, very competitive, and to maintain our place, we have to run very, very hard and fast. So we have to realize this power of change. And if we do not realize this power of change, we will never be placed in the list of world's good universities. Now, some people are advocating that no, we should change our pattern and design our own set of parameters. Yes, we can design it also. But that means what? We are shifting the problem. Instead of addressing the problem, we are shifting the problem to another 5 years, 10 years down the line. It means what? If we address this problem after 10 years, more effort will be required. Because world is progressing. People are working very hard everywhere. So we have, and if we miss this opportunity, for the policy maker this is very important. If we miss this opportunity, those who will follow us will not forgive us for our tardiness, negligence and complacency. This we have to realize. But this is a humble initiative. I am thankful to Professor Madhusudan, Professor Trivedi, Vice Chancellor and others who are associated with the project, that they could request a professor of eminence here in the DPU whose presence will help us, guide us, advise us, and in the future also, in the coming days also, we will be able to organize other such programs in other areas of emerging technology which will help DPU in and around and everyone, so that we will be able to do something good for the society, and we will be able to meet the expectations of the country, which country is expecting from us. Thank you very much.